How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another XRP update. Now, I've been giving the most key levels in my last few videos. That's these three areas: $2.07, $1.92 to $1.95, $1.70 to $1.80. Now, why are these the most important levels? So we can see previously to the left over here, there was a huge bullish reaction where the bull stepped in from. So I know that's a very key level of support going into the future. And we can see some months passed, tapped into that level, went slightly under it, but for the daily and weekly closes, it was maintained, just further proving a key level of support. Now you could actually argue that's a double bottom already right there, but we actually haven't got that continuation. It hasn't sustained through this box over here since bottoming out, $2.50 to $2.60. And as we approach that area, you're already starting to change the structure because we're attacking these highs over here. We're trying to make local high highs. Now, those highs would still be beneath these, so you could still argue it's a lower high. There are no true characteristic changes to the downtrend, but there is an attempt. And so what needs to happen going forward from that moment is that when we start to see price moving back down towards this low, it needs to maintain. If we want to see progression, if we want to see a new all-time high, this low now needs to maintain. And so my last few videos have been discussing the ultimate key support levels stopping from continuation lower, where we could expect sub $1. That could be a potential reality on the loss of this range. But we're anticipating this range low to hold as long as Bitcoin continues higher. And in my last few videos, we were talking about this bearish pattern forming at the time, this head and shoulders, and it was calling for much lower than where it used as a pivot point. So in fact, it was calling for the 170 to 180 area to be tested, but that obviously is not how it played out. There was another level of support that stepped in, and without my fibs, I wouldn't have been able to understand how much of a key level this was, this 618 to 65 at $1.92 to $1.95. Yes, we can see to the left, there have been many tests of this exact level, but I wouldn't have known how much weight was on this level without knowing it was the 618 and the 65 fib. This is the most common reversal point, and that's why we're starting to see signs of that. In fact, from down there, you can see a path that I created, and we're literally following it so far. What I was suggesting from a move from down here is that 207 must be reclaimed because that was the neckline of this bearish pattern, and once you break through that, the pattern becomes valid. There are going to be pivot points that could be used to invalidate the pattern, and at the very first hurdle, that's exactly what has been the case. A reversal, a recovery of the neckline, and so invalidation of the pattern. By losing $2.07, it initiates the move back down towards there. But currently, we've reclaimed it, or XRP has, and is testing it now as support. So this exact level, $2.07, has to be used as a pivot point to pump into $2.60. I'm just reaffirming what I've already said. There's just has been some development, and of course, if after this video you see it develop and $2.07 is lost, the expectation is lower. Right now, it is support, so I believe we are going higher. I believe that we are targeting $2.55 to $2.60. This is a neckline of the pattern, so rejection, just like previously, does make sense, but not as violent as last time. Maybe a much shallower, not as deep correction. Hold another key level, previously the shoulders, flip that area in support, and we can break through $2.60, and we would actually start a journey towards $4 to $5. That is it from me today. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you want to get educated, I've got a discount at the moment. Not only will you learn how to read the chart, but how to use TradingView itself and build a long-term sustainable crypto plan. Use the links down below to take action on these one-to-one video calls with myself and a 20% discount on top of that.